1/4 pound of pancetta. I chopped it up, put it in the pan, took it out when it got nice and crispy. We're gonna save this to make some pancetta croutons to go up on top of our chili. Into the pot for like 6 portions, 3 pounds of ground chicken. This is a chicken chili that's flavored with chili powder, but it's Italian because it's also gonna have a lot of roasted red peppers in it and some aged balsamic vinegar. Delicious, this chili. You're gonna love it. So what you gotta do is put some EVOO down in the pan, brown with the pancetta so you get the flavor in there, and then break the meat up and let it get a nice color on it before you add your next set of ingredients. And now I'm adding 1 big carrot. I'm just grating it right down into the pot. I started the chicken in there with a little pancetta, little chopped pancetta for flavor in the background. I browned that up in some EVOO and took that out. Added the chicken, 1 bay leaf, salt and pepper. Now I'm stirring in 1 carrot. I've got a big, beautiful onion here going down in. Big softball size onion. Or you could use 2 medium onions. In the food processor, I'm gonna turn on 1 whole jar or 3 or 4 large roasted red peppers. You can make them yourself. Let me just see. I pulled the plug out a little bit. Maybe, oh, no, hello. Bright girl, didn't put the lid on. Yeah, my mom's proud. So anyway, onions go down in the pot. I'm gonna grate some garlic in. Now the reserved pancetta, which is Italian rolled cured meat that's similar to bacon but not smoked, I've got that off to the side there. And when I serve traditional or Tex-Mex or Southwest style chilies, I always have a topper. You know, I have cornbread or crushed up corn chips or something like that. So I thought for this Italian chili, we'd go ahead and use some stale bread and make some pancetta croutons to put with it. Nice, right? So I'm making some garlic oil. I got a little combo over here of olive oil and a bit of butter, a couple of cloves of cracked garlic, and I'm gonna dump my stale bread in and let that start soaking up the EVOO and the butter. Let that hang out for a sec. Down here, we've got a beautiful puree of our roasted red peppers. They go down into our chili pot. And then we're gonna stir in our secret ingredient, balsamic vinegar. I've got a nice aged one here. You wanna pull up all those nice juices off the bottom of the pot. Now, if you use one that you get in the grocery store, those are usually like 4 to 6 years. It won't be quite as thick as this one. So put that in to lift up the pan drippings, and I'd use about 1/3 of a cup of that, the grocery store kind of balsamic. If you have a nice aged one like this, you'll need much less, no more than a couple of tablespoons, because it's got a really strong concentration of the beautiful flavor. And that is a really lovely surprise in the background of the chili. Now, once you get that in there, hit it with a little chicken stock. And then we're gonna spice it up and let it simmer all together until the flavors combine and the chili starts to thicken up for you. Box of stock. And then we're gonna spice it up with a combination of chili powder. For every 3 pounds, I recommend 2 tablespoons or 2 palmfuls of the chili powder. And then smoked sweet paprika, which you can get right in the regular grocery store. So good. And I use 2 teaspoons of that, or 2/3 of 1 palmful. And then a little bit of allspice, like about a ½ teaspoon or so, just eyeball it. And some nice fresh thyme. Little extra salt and pepper action in there. Stir that in and let it simmer, and then taste it to adjust the seasonings to your liking. But it's a beautiful color from the roasted red peppers and our balsamic vinegar, and the color just intensifies as it cooks down a little. Gorgeous. Now, while that's working, get your oven hot, like 350, 375. Toss these breadcrumbs around in your garlic butter. Well, that's a little warm. Let me grab a utensil. Some tongs here to help me turn it around. Toss this around to coat your bread with some of that oil and butter mixture there. Then I scatter it back out on a cookie sheet, and I season them up. I take our reserved pancetta, throw that down over the top of the bread. Rosemary, lots of chopped fresh rosemary. These are not any croutons you're getting in a box out of the market, let me tell you that. Couple of handfuls of Parmigiano or Romano cheese. And then you throw these guys in the oven until they're golden and crunchy all over. And that is going to be the big finish to our beautiful bowlfuls of chili. And it's something you can do way ahead. It freezes beautifully. It's fantastic for potluck because you just take the croutons on the side and all you do whenever you get to where you're going is put this on the stove and that's it. Here's how it goes. Also out of the oven, we took stale bread and put it with some EVOO and a little butter and some crushed garlic and lots of rosemary in our pancetta. So we have the pancetta flavor in our toppers and in our chili. Let me show you how this works. You could just put out a big bowl of all of these accompaniments here, but here's how it goes when you're ready to eat. If you want to make this for a bunch of people, if you want to make a huge batch, put a couple of pots right next to each other and just mirror what you're doing in all of them rather than trying to use one huge impossible pot. Your cooking times will be a lot more true that way. It'll go a lot faster for you. Over here we've got our beautiful croutons with the pancetta and the rosemary and the black pepper and the cheese. Nice. That's a nice little accessory for our chili. And then a little sprinkle of parsley, because as Pino said, parsley goes everywhere in Italian cooking. And then a little bit of Parmigiano Reggiano, and you just use a vegetable peeler to make it look fancy. And isn't that gorgeous? So simple.